After adding multiple surround speakers, if you are still not happy and looking for object-based sound, you must need to upgrade to Dolby Atmos Home Theater. Hello everyone and welcome to Tech Talk 2021. I hope all of you are doing well. It's really a long time that I have not created any video because I was extremely occupied in my new office in Pune. So this video is extremely special because I am going to talk about my view on most popular Dolby Atmos soundbars available in the market. This video I am dedicating to my subscribers who all have requested to see a video on flagship Dolby Atmos models. Thank you Nayan Daryani, Shashidhar Murthy, Mukesh Darshan and many of you. I have visited a lot of places to audition multiple soundbars and finalize these 5 for you. I like them a lot. If you also like one of them, you should definitely visit a showroom near to your place before making the purchase decision. The product links are there in the description below. Please use those links to support my channel. The 5th one is absolutely special, so stay tuned and watch till the end. If you liked my effort, please like the video, do subscribe to my channel, and as I am still at 1750 subscribers only, share this video with your friends if they are also planning to buy a home theater. Towards the end of the video, I will show you the list of movies and sources you will be able to watch movies in Dolby Atmos format. The first home theater which is there in my list is Samsung Q990B, the all-new 2020 model, which is Samsung's flagship model. The predecessor of this model was Q950A. The specification is almost the same. Best part is Samsung has replaced the fabric finish to metal finish to make all the speakers visible. And yes, it has 15 speakers and 1 subwoofer, which makes 11.1.4 channel soundbar complete wireless Dolby Atmos soundbar. The new model comes with 8-inch subwoofer and the bass is undoubtedly punchy and accurate. The video would help you to understand the position of 15 speakers. So the front center, front left, front right, side left, side right, front side left, front side right, rear side left, rear side right, rear left, rear right, the subwoofer's bass channel, and 4 up-firing drivers to provide Dolby Atmos overhead height effects. While checking on the website, it says 22 speakers, but Samsung team could not confirm where are the rest speakers. It's my assumption that Q Symphony feature whereby the soundbar can join forces with speakers inside some Samsung's premium TVs. This now make it possible to the up to full channel count of Samsung's TVs soundbar combi to 22. I have requested for a call back from Samsung to clarify this. If you know the right answer, request you to please comment in the comment section. As far as the design is concerned, apart from soundbar, the rear speakers have undergone a redesign too. In particular, the top edge now angled down to aid the directional relief of the up-firing drivers, and their main cabinet now sit on the short feet to reduce potential sound coloration from whatever the furniture or shelf you have got them sat on. The most instantly noticeable difference in the addition of an acoustic lens to the chunky subwoofer. This sees a raised cover with open sides sitting over an 8-inch driver with the intention of improving the dispersion and refinement of the bass sound. The Q990B finally sees Samsung's adding a proper built-in auto-calibration system to its flagship soundbar for the first time too. The Space Feet feature uses the soundbar's mic to analyze how the sound is responding to your room shape and content, and apparently reruns it every day. Just in case, you might have moved your coffee table, sofa or whatever the things around overnight. It's backed up by an auto EQ system too that monitors the way subwoofer's bass output gels with the rest of the sound. The connectivity is mostly impressive, particularly good to see HDMI pass-through system and 2 HDMI inputs. In addition to the HDMI eARC connection to your TV, this means you can connect your sources directly to the soundbar and pass the video on your TV, avoiding the auto sync issues that can in some setups. This HDMI pass-through system supports 4K HDR video, including both the HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision Premium HDR formats. The Q990B does a peerless job of creating a full-blooded Dolby Atmos soundstage in your living room. Every one of its 16 channels of sound is made to count, especially as the integrated new audio auto-calibration system does an excellent job of balancing the channel out without any manual input from yourself. You feel completely wrapped with a bubble of sound that extend right down the side of your sitting position, right around the back of your head, and even in a straightly joined up fashion right over your head. Where the ears are cornered, the improved angling of their up-firing drivers help their sound connects with the up-firing effect from the main soundbar better, creating a more convincing and consistent sense of overhead sound. The subwoofer, meanwhile, still hits the huge depth to rumble that you have become used to hearing from Samsung's flagship soundbars. But the acoustic lens helps it sound spread throughout your room more evenly, and its tone feels smoother across a wider range of volume and depth. And it comes with a remote control by which you can control and adjust everything you need. The second one in my list is BOSE 900. The BOSE Smart Soundbar 900 is a standalone 5.0.2 setup with a premium design. Unlike the BOSE Smart Soundbar 700, it comes with two up-firing drivers that support Dolby Atmos content. It reproduces a neutral, balanced sound profile suitable for listener to a lot of different type of audio content, and there's even an adaptive room correction feature to optimize audio reproduction based on your space. It uses the manufacturer's phase guide technology to beam sound throughout your room to create a wide, immersive soundstage. Unfortunately, it struggles to reproduce a thumpy low bass. However, you can also upgrade this setup with a subwoofer and satellites, which are sold separately. The compatible subwoofer are BOSE Base Module 500 and BOSE Base Module 700. Both of them are wireless, and both of them are costly too. The rear surround compatible speakers can be purchased from BOSE stores. Through the soundbar itself creates a really wonderful soundstage that you may not even require surround speaker. If you add them, that can add an extra layer on it. Let me show you how the speakers is placed in the soundbar. There are 5 speakers in the soundbar, 3 at the front, 2 at the each side of the soundbar to give you surround effect, and 2 at the top of the soundbar for Dolby Atmos effect. This soundbar can play various audio formats like Dolby Atmos, Dolby DTS, Dolby Digital, Dolby True HD, Dolby Digital Plus. It comes with a headset. BOSE call it adaptive headset for audio calibration. Therefore, you can wear the headphone, sit at your sitting position, use your mobile application and get the calibration completed. So this advanced feature is now help you to calibrate your soundbar with the sitting position plus the room acoustics and give you the sound quality, and it's gonna automatically calibrate each and every speaker. For more in-depth control, the BOSE Music app, which is available for iOS and Android, is very user-friendly and includes a 2-band equalizer and discrete level control of the center height channels as well as dialogue boost mode. This is the only additional sound mode aside from the Soundbar 900's standard profile, which uses BOSE True Space technology to upmix non-Atmos content. This means that regardless of whether you are watching a film in 5.1 or streaming a track in stereo, the Soundbar 900 internal DSP will make decision about when and when not to use high transducers. Unfortunately, there is no way to disable this AI feature, and although sometimes it adds a welcome depth, it can alter the tonal character of the audio. Next up is JBL 9.1, another wireless surround system. If you are looking for an easy way to get full surround sound including Dolby Atmos, DTS:X, it would be one of the best choices which gives you value for money. JBL really takes it to another level with 5 speakers and 4 height channels. The JBL Bar 9.1 is an impressive 5.1.4 setup. It has 2 detachable satellite speakers that can play your favorite audio wirelessly from anywhere in your room. The satellites are advertised as having up to 10 hours of continuous playback time and charge when reconnected to the bar or by micro USB. There's also a subwoofer which helps to give this bar a bit more thump and punch. The rest of the sound profile is very balanced, making it a good choice for any kind of content from audiobooks to action flicks. It even has a full range of physical input, so it supports Atmos and DTS, and there are several ways to connect it to wirelessly. The JBL Bar 9.1 is impressive for movies. It has a well-balanced sound profile with a touch of bass, so you are able to better feel each explosion in an action movie, and it can get loud enough to fill a large room. Its satellite also helps to create more immersive experience, especially for Atmos content, and it has excellent surround performance as well. That being said, this soundbar does not have many sound enhancement features like graphic equalizer, which user may find limiting. There's also some compression at max volume. Inside the soundbar, there are 4 oval-shaped mid-range drivers facing forward and arranged into front 3 channels of the surround, along with 320mm tweeters. On the top surface, facing upwards, are 2 full-range drivers for the front section of the Atmos effect. The removable rear speaker on each end are attached by a set of good strong magnet when docked. They charge up by 10 hours battery over the course of 3 hours, during which they will still operate if you are watching TV or listening to music. Detach them with a firm tug, tough, and fun begins. They're 17 cm tall. They are ideal for popping on a solid surface such as table just over a meter off the floor. You can wall mount them. Brackets are already included, but the joy of this bar is flexibility on offer. The speakers can be perched on the back of your sofa, up against the wall, on a window ledge, or wherever it is most convenient. Ultimately, the JBL's flexibility means you can avoid rearranging your furniture or purchasing extra speaker stands that are associated with a more traditional home theater setup. Within this satellite are 4 more channels of sound. Each has an up-firing full-range driver for the final 2 Atmos speakers, as well as another 20mm tweeter, a piece of the surround effects. The missing mid-range speakers on the rear seems like a bit of an odd omission. The subwoofer is massive at 30 cm tall and 40 cm deep, but that not necessarily a bad thing. Yes, it takes up a rather lot of space, but the bulk gives room a hefty 10-inch downfiring drive unit. Let's talk about the connectivity. There are wired and wireless connections for the internet, a choice of optical or EARC HDMI for source connections, plus an HDMI in for a 4K pass-through, which is also Dolby Vision compatible. You can send music to the bar by Bluetooth, but it should be noted that the USB socket is only for software updates. We would ideally like to see few more HDMI inputs, while the EARC connection means source can be routed through your TV. Doing so is not always straightforward, and going direct is generally preferable. That said, the JBL is not the only soundbar to go down the minimum input route. There are other competitors too in the market. Once connected, the next move is calibration, and that's largely a 2-part process. Is the tone firing auto calibration, which you can redo anytime you like. The second is a set of 3 adjustments that you can make from the remote. You can set the rear audio effect to low, medium, and high, the same for Atmos effects, and then the sub that can set at level of force from 1 to 5. There's also a facility of reducing the rear and Atmos effect to almost nothing by switching into standard mode. Handy if you don't like the news or weather report delivered with home cinematic drama. Mercifully, lip syncing issues are also taken care of thanks to an audio delay adjustment. It should be noted, this features are not the easiest to discover. Pressing and holding certain buttons on the remote activates them, but the explanations are only found hidden away deep inside the manual. Next up is Sony A7000. The Sony A7000 is a premium 7.1.2 setup released in 2021. It's advertised to support S-Force Pro front surround and vertical surround engine technologies for a more immersive listening experience. Its default sound profile is pretty neutral with a touch of extra punch in the bass, making it suitable for listening to most type of audio content. However, it does not get very loud. Also, in our subjective listening test, we found that it's best to adjust the equalizer preset based on the content you are listening to, which could be annoying for some users. It does not come along with the subwoofer and satellite speakers, hence Sony is promoting this with attractive offers. With subwoofer SW5, which is 300 watt subwoofer, and satellite speaker would cost you around 1.78 lakhs, and with SW3, which is 200 watt subwoofer and satellite speakers, would cost you around 1.5 lakhs. Let me show you how the speakers are placed in the bar. 5 mid-range drivers are placed at the right, left and center. It has 2 subwoofers as well to provide low range, 2 beam tweeters. The low notes bounce back from the wall to provide more immersive sound experience. Now look at the top. The up-firing speakers are placed on the top of each corner to bounce that back from ceiling to your ear. My submission to add at least the subwoofer to ensure you don't miss out the low frequencies. Also, this time Sony has come up with sound field optimization, which is basically the auto calibration only. The built-in microphone diagnoses the room size, ceiling distance, etc., and adjusts the speaker volume accordingly. The Sony A7000 has a impressive build quality. It's mostly plastic, which feels solid and durable, and the metal grille in the front helps protect the drivers inside. On top, there is a glass plate that gives it some more premium feel. The fabric covering the up-firing drivers on the top is a bit loose, but it seems to be good quality overall. It's large and heavy, but it feels really premium. On the recessed undersized, for hardware connectivity, the Sony A7000 soundbar includes one ARC HDMI output and 2 HDMI 2.1 input ports, capable of handling 8K at 60 Hz, 4K at 120 Hz, and Dolby Vision HDR signals. There's also a digital optical port, USB audio, and analog input via 3.5mm jack socket, as well as an analog output for turning a compatible Sony Bravia TV into a center channel via supplied cable. In terms of wireless connectivity, you can connect via Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and there's AirPlay 2 and Chromecast, as well as Spotify Connect. Soundbar runs to almost 51 inches wide, so you can expect to hear a wide and involving soundstage being beamed towards you, with all kinds of movies and music content. The Sony's forward-firing drivers configuration utilizes widely spaced beam tweeter that project sound through a series of chambers. This certainly appears to bring a great sense of scale to the soundbar's sound stage while watching the psychological movie drama from Netflix. With S-Force Pro, front surround take is enabled during cinema and standard mode. Enabling S-Force makes soundtrack you are actively involved in the moment unfolding on screen. Even with more muted dialogue such as Nomadland streamed via Amazon, the Sony soundbar enables you to hear every bit of dialogue and voice inflation with an entirely natural feel and great presence. There's a dialogue boost setting should you wish for the clarity, as well as the up-firing speakers in the top the soundbar, primarily intended for Dolby Atmos and TTX content. Sony also employs its own vertical surround engine, which is called VSC, to give standard content an immersive height element too, bringing a more natural feel that sonically transport you to wherever acoustic environment or landscape is unfolding on screen. The results are impressive, and the extra dimension is similar to what we experience from the Sonos Arc soundbar. It's not the same as having direct audio from the speaker located above or to the side, but it's certainly more effective than I imagined that helps viewer feel more involved with what happening on the screen. The Sony A7000 integrated subwoofer drivers are pretty small by dedicated subwoofer standards, but the Sony does an effective job at giving voice action effects and soundtracks the way they need to carry things off convincingly. When it comes to streaming music, soundbar doubles as an effective music system, and Spotify Connect is embedded to allow you to connect directly, or user can connect to their favorite alternative music streaming services from their device using Chromecast or AirPlay 2. Whatever streaming music service you use, I found that keeping A7000 in music mode was preferable because it gave the best balance to vocals and sense of instrument separation. The last one is extremely special as this is my favorite. Though this is not a soundbar, rather I have handpicked AV receiver, subwoofer and speakers to combine my own favorite Dolby Atmos setup. I have chosen Denon X1600, which is a 7.2 channel AV receiver which features discrete amplifier on all channels. The AVR X1600H delivers high power performance at 80 watts per channel. Low impedance drivers provide operational stability for a wide range of speakers for balanced tonal sound. This AV receiver supports 3-dimensional sound format Dolby Atmos Heights, virtualization technology DTX, DTS VirtualX Plus, an HDMI section with HDCP 2.3 support, and advanced video processing with 4K pass-through for HDMI sources. As far as speakers are concerned, I can go for a variety of choices, but my favorite is Polk Audio S50. I will have 2 floor standing speakers for center channel, T30 for subwoofer, PWS10 which is a 10-inch subwoofer, a pair of T15 bookshelf speakers for surround, and for Atmos we would go for actual ceiling mounted speaker, for example standard NRX 620. Therefore within 2 lakhs I can make a great deal too. Why I still like home theater rather than a soundbar is because of customization, upgradability. I can set each and every speaker output as per my choice. Also, when I can place physical speakers, I know that would give more accurate soundstage and a better Dolby Atmos effect. If you are also one of them, please let me know in the comment below. If you are still with me here, let me show you the bonus clip. There is one more soundbar you can check. If you are looking for absolute wireless Dolby Atmos home theater, the first one is LG SP11RA, which is a 7.1.4 channel Dolby Atmos soundbar, a complete package you can buy in just 90,000. The package includes one soundbar with 5 speakers and 2 up-firing speakers, 2 satellite speakers with 2 speakers for surround and 2 up-firing speakers for Dolby Atmos, and one 220 watts subwoofer. Size is certainly the most conspicuous physical feature of SP11RA. At 144 cm long, LG suggests pairing with TV sized 55 inches and above. So you will need a substantial cabinet to house in it. Hardware for wall mounting is already included, but 15 cm deep, it will protrude noticeably more than your flat screen. The finish seems to have been designed to help camouflage the large surface area and almost succeed. The front and side face are wrapped with a tight black mesh grille, while the top surface is finished in brushed black matte, which, despite its matte finish, reflects a bit of light from screen directly above. Size aside, there's a little in the design that indicates the premium price. The styling is rather nondescript, and the individual units don't feel particularly solid or premium either. Hidden inside the main bar are the left, center and right channel, each with 20mm silk dome tweeter and 10cm rest track driver, 2 surround channel with a 10cm rest track driver unit at either end of the bar, and on the top surface are a pair of 7cm Atmos speakers. Also on the top exterior is a mic for room calibration and voice control, as well as touch button for power, input, volume, play, pause, and quick sources select option for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 5.0. The front face has a 5-character swift scrolling LED display for text feedback as you change settings and otherwise constant and show the current active input. At the rear is an HDMI output that supports eARC plus 2 HDMI 2.1 input with 4K Dolby Vision pass-through. There also an optical input and a USB port, the latter for connection to a mass storage device. Relative to the main bar, the separate wireless sub seems modestly sized with the front-facing 18cm bass driver and rear port, wrapped on a 3-side in a soft black fabric. The two wireless rear speakers house front-facing 76mm unit for the surround back left and right channel and angled 63mm drivers on top for Atmos, with the sides finished in the same brushed black metal as the main bar. While the sub and surround are wireless, in terms of audio signal, they still require power and need to be located near a plug socket. That's a total 15 drivers unit configured for 7.1.4 channel, but syncing this array of boxes is pretty straightforward. The LG soundbar app quickly finds the main bar and is easy to add onto our network. With the other units offer sample automatically joining after. There's also a button on the back of each unit for manual pairing and an LED status indicator. It has a decent standard sound mode. There's a host of other sound profiles, some of which are new for this year, including a music mode that benefits from tuning courtesy of Meridian, with whom LG has collaborated to enhance its audio product since 2018. The SP11RA also features Meridian Horizon, an upmixing technology that LG says will provide immersive multi-channel audio from 2-channel stereo content. This upmixing is assessed from the cinema sound mode, which, regardless of the original sound format, will output audio from all speakers. The bass blast profile operates similarly but with added low end. There's also clear voice option, the modes optimized for sports and gaming. If you would rather let the soundbar decide, the AI sound mode automatically switches between profiles. On the LG soundbar app, there's an added nighttime mode that compressed dynamic and reduces bass and can only be accessed manually. Thank you for staying with me till here. Please like the video if you liked my effort. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get notification of my upcoming videos. Here are the list of websites you can follow to get name of Dolby Atmos movies and sources. Thank you very much. Stay happy and blessed. See you soon with another video.